the fight card sucked. Plain and simple. Now, mind you, yes, you have your little moments of shock. Like, I think the first one was the COVID-19, which I love when they find out that one of Jacare's family members, or a couple of his family members, were positive. They found out on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
They wait, okay, and don't say, get the hell out of here. They wait and let him mill around with the other two corners, who also, and here's the other thing, the two of his corners tested positive as well.
That's right.
So this is the beauty of, I'm glad the UFC said they were first. Not only they were going to be first, but I think I saw Bobby Campbell and a couple of people wrote this. Well, what happens now? Do things get pushed back if, God forbid, somebody gets sick? Well, with regards to incubation period, we don't know who's sick yet, but I think a lot of people were probably wondering, for all of the masks that you saw around the ring, which I got a kick out of, because here's the biggest question I had, and a lot of people have. If you don't have anybody in the stands, why do you need an arena that goddamn big in the first place? And you're complaining about money. You're complaining about money, but let's rent out an arena. Let's not do this in a performance center in Vegas or a performance center-like setting or something small. No. We need a big arena so it looks even emptier on TV.
Hey, Anthony, you love Dana White. You love him.
Hey, you want to know something? I'll tell you right now. I've always given Dana White a lot of credit for what he's done for the sport and everything. But here's the thing. Based off of the fact that you wanted to be number one, you wanted to get your Disney money, which is what this fight card was, which is another reason, and if anybody wants to say it's not a spectacle that he's going to do this, and then on Wednesday there's another fight night, and on Saturday there's another fight night. No, it's because he hasn't had enough paychecks from Disney, so he gets 3 paychecks from Disney right there, based off distribution. Now, we talked about the Gaethje fight. Gaethje, obviously, that was a huge upset. Why? Because even it was huge upset. Huge upset. I mean, hell, I was hoping that Ferguson won, because then I wouldn't have been 5 for 5 on my DraftKings picks. So that would have been the first thing. Hey, listen, it was a nice 5-fight parlay that I had there. You put down $25, you win $350. But when it was all said and done, Ferguson had to go back into his Oliver McCall, alien sighting mode. A couple of times, I don't know what the hell he was doing, where he looked like he was getting ready to do kung fu. You can't tell me that was a Ferguson who was mentally there. Not saying physically. Physically, I'm perfectly satisfied with the idea that he was ready to fight anybody. 2 weeks ago, he was supposed to fight Khabib, and it wasn't going to happen. So I feel like, from a standpoint of conditioning and everything, he was ready. Mentally, yeah, he was on Saturn. I don't know what the hell he was doing. Flat out.
I was surprised.
Now and not only that, he's got a broken eyebrow now.
I know, he's going to be out for a while. And you're going to worry about the nerve stuff whenever it heals with in regards to your, the peripheral vision and everything. Nobody fought, and he wanted to fight, he fought. That was it. Well, that's why you're never gonna see Khabib and Ferguson fight now. It's never gonna happen.
Based off of the way Ferguson fought, if he won a decision in that case, I would have wanted to see it anyway.
Well, I believe
he was one step away from Area 51.
No, I believe I believe that he thought that the Gaethje fight was going to be a lot easier than it was, and Gaethje surprised him. He surprised him with the power that he had, and I think he was completely offset on the thought that Gaethje was even going to give him a challenge in that fight, and that threw him off. Mm-hmm. I believe he was ready for Khabib, and I think that if he fought Khabib, he would have beaten Khabib. Now, just because
you out there with a guy with nothing to lose. That's what happened. Gaethje went out there with a guy nothing to lose.
And I'll tell you this right now. I think Gaethje, if he uses that power against Khabib and he stands up and Khabib decides to stand up with him, I think he has enough power to knock out Khabib too. I really do.
I don't know about that.
I do.
Just based off of, because I don't feel like that was a 100%. We could put an asterisk next to it if you want and say, this was,
his power is
before the alien sighting.
Yeah, but
circumstances kind of thing.
Yeah, but damn well, Anthony, you know damn well that power is for real. That power is for real. You saw Ferguson's face.
He's always had the power, even in when he was in other organizations. He always had the power. The biggest thing with Gaethje is the wear and tear he's had on his body. His eye isn't crooked for a reason, for no reason. I mean, there's a reason why he constantly looks like he's staring at the tip of his nose. But when and people say I'm making fun of him. I am making fun of this. Because, an epic card. No, it's not. It wasn't an epic card. You put Dominic Cruz in there. Dominic Cruz hasn't fought since Ronda Rousey fought. And was it a big surprise that he lost against Henry Cejudo?
Anthony, you want to hear this?
It wasn't.
Anthony, you want to hear this? I get a text message at 1:30 in the morning by PSO founder Rob Mason, and he tells me, "Hey, I'll read it off to you, Anthony, because I have to read it off." Rob, no offense to you, but
Rob, who thinks Dana White is creative,
here,
that guy.
He says, "I gotta say, for a casual fan, the UFC 249 has been entertaining as hell." That's what he tells me. Hold on, at 12:53 a.m. on Saturday night. I was sleeping, by the way. I didn't even get to watch the Ferguson fight until the next day. I watched the replay of the fight because I fell asleep to it. So,
and who wrote that?
This was Rob Mason from PSL.
We had him on Monday, and him and Errol got in a whole argument. He said Dana White is a creative genius or something like that. And,
wait a second.
And Errol, obviously, you know how he feels about Dana White. They went at it for a while.
The organization that we're talking to right now, and he's got great insight with the MLB, and he doesn't know really anything about the UFC. So I'm not going to take a shot at him because he really doesn't know anything about fighting.
No, it's okay. I mean, in all honesty, as he said, he's a casual fan, and to a casual fan, I'm sure it was, entertaining. Why? We haven't had anything other than Korean baseball and cornhole championships and ping pong for the last 2 months. So if that was the case, I mean, a game of bridge with a whole bunch of old ladies is exciting at this point.
I'm surprised.
Well, of course, I'm not taking shots at him either.
I'm surprised the UFC didn't.
For sports.
Anthony, I'm surprised the UFC didn't do the cardboard cutout thing to fill that large arena.
You want to know something? I'm telling you, Speedy, I don't get it. They're bitching about money. Oh, how much do you think that damn venue cost? Number one. Not to mention, it made no sense. We're worried about money, but we need a big ass arena to fit what? Nothing.
My only guess, I think, is maybe they didn't have enough time, being they canceled it a bunch of times. Maybe they didn't have time to scramble around and set up another arena for that event.
Here's the thing. They have that locked up for 3 days. This past fight, the next one on Wednesday. In some ways, the one on Wednesday, I think I'm more inclined to watch because at the fight night, it's not drummed up as this, oh my God, but you have a lot of young talent on it. You have Anthony Smith on there with Glover Teixeira, you know what I mean, a nice little, veteran versus, upcoming guy. Is he going back to go against John Jones? What happens as soon as John Jones gets out of Sing Sing or wherever the hell he's going to end up next? And then next week they have another one. But it just seems it seems weird. It's, I'm starving for money. I have no money, but I'm going to go out to eat it for dinner. It's that same concept. It's stupidity, and it makes no sense. What doesn't even make more sense, we all know what's under, whatever you see on camera is obviously, it's etched in stone. It's etched in everybody's heads. You have fighters that have no masks on. Cornermen have the masks on. People around, the judges have the masks on. Joe Rogan's going, talking to people, got a microphone in their face, 2 feet away from each other, no mask.
Joe Rogan was making fun of the whole situation that there were no crowd, there was no people out in the crowd. How many times did he go into the ring or go into the octagon after the fight to interview the winner and say, I'm interviewing in front of no crowd, no fans, and he's laughing. I would
make that joke too. Because it's ridiculous, Errol. Why the hell? It's one thing if you have some of these major sports like soccer and everything, and there's nobody in the stands. Get it? NASCAR, there's nobody in the stands. You have the Ultimate Fighter TV show, which is in a gym. It's pretty much a gymnasium, if we could call it that. And you see more people that they fit in that little section, from sponsors to whatever, watching the Ultimate Fighter
game
during that reality show that you see in the arena. Why don't you go that way and cut your costs? No, we're not going to cut our costs. We want to go big. We want to be the first ones to do it. Well, there you go. You were the first ones. I would rather be the best one. If you want to be the first one, you be the first one. And on top of that, they're going to be the best at transmitting this damn disease all over the place, because as our Florida correspondent, Errol's number one, Jeff told us from Tampa, when he was on the line, we found out that Jacksonville is in the most heavily populated corona infected population in all of Florida.
Well, the largest city. That makes sense.
So it's like, why not? Hey, you know something? Let's not jeopardize the ones that have nothing in it. Let's just go where they are anyway. Because hey, if we get sick, we're there anyway. What the hell?
No,
it's like saying, you know, I know I'm going to get my car robbed, so I might as well park it over here in the ghetto opposed to parking in the garage because it's going to get stolen anyway.
Well, to me.
Just give up.
To me, I thought the card was okay. I got to see Mitchell, and I told you that. I texted you. I know you're going to say he fought nobody, but he fought a black belt.
Mitchell sucks. He's a hillbilly.
I know you don't like him. I know you don't like him. I was very impressed with the kid. I really was.
That there boy's got to go against veterans.
All right. Well,
before and
I
get
believe
some indoor plumbing, and then we'll talk.
I'm telling you right now. I think the kid's going to be a good fighter. I really do. I was very impressed. Very impressed the way he was grappling. He was taking a black belt, a Brazilian Jiu. I know what you're going to say. Well, he's a black belt, and I know what you're going to say because you train.
I got a black belt on right now.
That's fine. But the fact is that this guy is an MMA fighter who is a black belt, and he tapped that black belt out. So, to me,
you control that kid. You don't see many 24-30s in a decision.
Well,
you don't see many 24-30s in a decision. You control. That means you had eight rounds. When you see eights that prevalent in a judging situation, that's the judges. It's an unwritten rule. That's the judge almost telling the referee, "Yo, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
you shouldn't even be in here."
Well, I was very impressed with the kid. I mean, he did everything. I told you, what does the UFC have to look forward to? And I still don't think they have much. But this kid who I was very impressed. I know you're impressed with, what's his name again? The kid that we were talking about over here after the show.
Who, Sadiq Youssef?
Yep, Sadiq. So you
no,
like...
No, Sadiq is good, but you want to know something? Here's the other thing, and we're gonna talk about this on the show on Friday.
Yeah.
One thing a lot of people don't realize, and this came out right during the telecast, as we all know, Khabib missing in action. He's, saving the whales and
opening his mouth,
feeding the homeless,
opening his mouth and taking
his
shot,
which he can't get into right now.
Yeah, opening his mouth and taking shots at Ferguson after losing that fight.
Exactly. He's off Twittering from somewhere. He was probably in the first row. Who knows?
He was hiding in the empty arena.
But here's the funny thing, and this is what's going out there, and a lot of people haven't mentioned it yet, but I will. People are talking about Francis Ngannou's performance, knocking that guy out in 20 seconds, which was that was a legit contender he knocked out in 20 seconds too. That was insane. Does he get enough? Should he get the title shot? Absolutely. But Dana White's talking about stripping Stipe because he hasn't fought or defended his title. He fought on UFC 241, which was not more than maybe like 3-4 months ago. When the hell has Khabib defended his title? And he still has it.
Oh, it's taken a long time because you remember he was suspended for 9 months with the Conor McGregor thing, and they didn't strip him from that.
But Stipe, because he not only is he a firefighter, a first responder, because he says, "I just want to let this stuff slide, and then we'll get back to it. But I'll fight whoever you put in front of me." He actually said that, whether it's DC or Miguel, I'll fight whoever you put in front of me. I just want to make sure that
DC's coming back.
Safe.
DC's coming back.
DC said he would come back and fight Francis Ngannou. Mind you how he said this. Fight Francis Ngannou for the vacated title if Dana strips Stipe. So he's already got an agenda.
He doesn't want to fight Stipe because what Stipe did to him.
Of course he doesn't.
He doesn't want to fight him.
Well, he even said, if there was a trilogy, Stipe said, if there was a trilogy, I would come back. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, Dana White said he wants to clear all this to clear up. I'm not dealing with the chances of getting sick or anything, which he has every right to. But then what do? Now, they said strip him. They didn't say that Ngannou was going to have to fight for an interim title. No, because of the money-making factors. Meanwhile, Gaethje, now the interim champion, if anybody thinks Gaethje is going to fight Khabib first,
right,
they're out of their damn mind. He could say it's going to happen all he wants.
Well, who are they going to fight? Who's going to be fighting Khabib first?
This is just my take, and this
Conor?
is the reason why, and I'll actually justify this. Gaethje versus Khabib is not a moneymaker. Not a moneymaker. Gaethje versus Conor is a moneymaker. Conor versus Khabib is a moneymaker. Gaethje with Khabib is not a moneymaker.
So who do you think is going to fight Khabib next?
I I honestly think that Khabib could get Conor before unifying the title with Gaethje.
I don't. I think here's the guy I think Conor's going to fight next now that this all happened, Nate Diaz.